This is a long-term holder pattern that you see here. This chart has basically successfully predicted the previous parabolic bull cycles when we're entering them. It has shown us from an on-chain metrics perspective when we're entering them, and I believe it is doing the same exact thing right now. It is giving us the signal. And in this video, I want to break down exactly what this is. What is the long-term holder supply pattern? What is it? And how does it play into this chart? This chart is actually something, as I really was kickstarting my journey tracking crypto online and on YouTube videos, this chart is something I charted back here in 2018. And you can see just this rhythm that I was anticipating. And this is because I was studying the patterns of Bitcoin cycles as they revolve around the Bitcoin halvings. One thing, and I just realized this, I really like on-chain metrics and tying it into the charts and tying it into the cycles. But I just realized, because sometimes I often ask myself, how are these cycles? And I've been doing this for over 6 years now on this YouTube channel. How are these cycles so consistent? It's crazy. The answer has always kind of been like, it's just the mental game. It's emotional people behind markets, and that's what's happening here. That's where the rhythm is really coming from. But then this article that I just read through by On-Chain College, the light bulb went off for me. So hit the subscribe, hit the like. Let's jump into the video. This is the chart, right? This is the Bitcoin chart. This is the flow of it. And if we look at how this played out since 2018, when I charted it, and that was all the way back here, right around here, it really played out pretty well, right? Now, before we dive into the long-term holder supply pattern, I want to just make something clear. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you my technical analysis kind of principles, the foundations of the technical analysis aspect, and then we're really just going to plot it on top of this technical analysis. We're getting bullish indicators from a technical analysis perspective. If you're a replay viewer, meaning if you've seen my channel before and you've seen my videos before and you want to skip to the timestamp, please feel free, because I'm about to break down a huge key indicator, which is the bull market doors for this cycle, because this is what just triggered. Bull market high to bear market low. It's Bitcoin breaking this area. This is the thing that happens every cycle. What I want to make note of, this just happened. And this is going to be very relevant as we start looking at the long-term holder pattern chart. Now, on the flip side, I do want to mention something. The flow of these cycles, as I've been tracking them, if we look at this chart all the way back here, when I charted it in 2018, you see these yellow lines as well. Those yellow lines are actually the flip side of the bull market doors. So basically, it's a bear market low to a bull market high, and it's the 786 of the channel where we would see support, right? This has marked basically the bottoming out area of cycles. So we have a bull market door entry area from a Fibonacci, but then we have a bottoming out in the bear market type of vibe going on with the Fibonacci as well. So here's 2015, bear market low to bull market high of 2017, and there it is. There's that 786 bottoming out area for Bitcoin back then. So that has been the trigger for Bitcoin bottoming out. And so now we have two data pieces from a technical analysis perspective. We have the bottoming out phase of Bitcoin cycles happening kind of in between halvings. And then we have the bull market door Fibonacci retracement indicator, which is a bull market high to bear market low, happening historically right after the halvings. Basically, this is when it has happened every cycle. This cycle is the first cycle, as many of you know, where Bitcoin is breaking that Fibonacci bull market door area earlier, before the Bitcoin halving. So now let's take that, this general foundation. There's other indicators, there's other momentum stuff, there's moving averages, there's other things happening, but let's just take those two very simple things, the Bitcoin halving and the bull market doors, and now let's look at this. The white lines, just so you know when you're looking at this, the white line is the price of Bitcoin. Simple. Orange line is the Bitcoin supply that hasn't moved in at least a year. So just think of the orange line as people just holding Bitcoin for at least a year. That's what that is signifying. So with on-chain analysis, unlike traditional technical analysis, because we're talking about technical analysis or fundamental analysis, we can look at supply metrics and gain insights from the patterns that develop over time. So we have patterns developing outside of the charts. And from that that human nature standpoint, that emotion standpoint, I think that is so telling in terms of why the cycles repeat. And so he says the blockchain is immutable and trustless. This is the true data pulled from the blockchain that is not altered by a central bank or biased by an institution. Now, here's where things get crazy when we start digging into this chart and we look at not only this chart, but we start looking at this chart as well. So let's do this. Let me move this over. Notice what's happening here. We can see this metric increase during bear markets as he notes. So that orange line increasing during bear markets. Why is that? A couple reasons he points out. Some people bought the cycle top. So basically they bought the top of price. You can see in white. And as price declined, they got stuck with the asset and have decided they're long-term holders now instead of selling at a loss. So since they're long-term holders from the top, right, you see this start going up because the amount of long-term holders is increasing that have held for at least a year. Other more convicted holders use the bear market as a time to dollar cost average, buy or smash buy Bitcoin. These holders see the opportunity in buying low and holding for years for potentially higher returns. So then we have the people that are just accumulating through the bear market and they're just holding, waiting for that next bull market. So check it out. We have the very simple graphic displayed on the screen of what is happening here. We see the metric decline during bull runs. This is the visualization of long-term holders, aka smart money, selling into strength and realizing a profit on the Bitcoin that they bought during the bear market and prior cycles. So the metric is declining during bull run. So if we look at white, if we zoom in a little bit, just you can see there's a bull market right there. This is the last bull market actually. And what happened? This metric went down. Long-term holders kind of falling off because people are taking profits. And I need to say this more. Figure out a take profit plan right now if you don't have it. Because I truly think those bull market doors have been broken. We're entering this next phase of the cycle and it goes quick. You might think you have a lot of time, but it goes very fast. So here's what he says. This one caveat still gives me pause on whether this is the parabolic bull run or if this move is similar to 2019 post-bear market where price will then chop for a year or so before the big parabolic run. I wanted to bring up this point he has because he's basically looking at the chart, I believe, and he's looking at this move that's happening now, right? It's actually starting to fall. And he's wondering, is this the beginning of the bull run? Or is it kind of similar to this little move right here? Kind of a little bit of a fake out, right? In between cycles. And then Bitcoin, you can see, still had a little bit of consolidation if you look at price. And then the bull run didn't really start until over here, November 2020, if you remember. But I want to talk about his point there, the question of, is this kind of a fake out and then we're going to be sideways for like a year? And I just want to say, I don't think so. And the reason why is because if we go to the Bitcoin chart, he's basically, I believe, alluding to this area back here in 2019, right? Or maybe this area right here in 2019. That little fake out. That wasn't the beginning of the bull market. And rightfully so, because if you look at where that took place in regards to the cycles, it was like in between the halvings. Bitcoin had just bottomed in the bear market. That's not typically when Bitcoin enters the bull market. I think that this data is reflecting, and when I say this data, I mean this move that you see right now. Supply last active 1+ year ago starting to decline. This is the trigger indicator from one on-chain metrics perspective. I think this is triggering and showing us, signaling, I should say, this beginning of this next phase, a parabolic phase. I don't think it's what's happening back here. And the reason why is because where we are in cycles, we are right before the halving. And every cycle passed, and this is a monthly chart, by the way, but every cycle passed, you can just see Bitcoin halving, bull market doors, parabolic run, right? And then you go back here, and this is 2016 halving, bull market doors, bull market run, parabolic run. Last cycle, November 2020, bull market doors broken. There's the 2020 halving, parabolic run. We're a little early. We definitely are a little early this cycle, but we are in this general area, right? We're not in basically this area. And this area back here is more similar from a cycle perspective to this area back here. And I really wanted to break that down. I could be wrong. Maybe it is going to be something like this, and then there's consolidation. If we can even look at what that looks like, swing low back here, take it all the way over to the actual bull market, and then boom, something like this is what he's saying. Man, could it be something like this? And absolutely, it could. But I'm not so sure that all of 2025 and 2024 and 2025 is going to be kind of sideways, well, until summer of 2025. I can't imagine that in the environment in which crypto is right now and Bitcoin is trading right now. And with the Bitcoin spot ETF and even Ethereum ETF in play at the very least, and there's a lot of confidence when you hear from somebody like Larry Fink that it's going to be approved eventually, maybe not in the shorter term. With all of these things happening, I don't think it's going to be sideways, and I think right now we are getting this signal. We've talked about a lot that we're getting the signal from a technical analysis perspective. The bull market doors, the Bitcoin halving, everything's lining up really well. I get excited when I start seeing actual on-chain metrics indicators that I think just add a dash of reliability to what we're seeing on the technical analysis side of things. So that's what it looks like right now. And I love how I put this question mark over here. Like, is this where we're going to, see the top of the bull cycle? And remember, that's because the supply last active 1+ years ago, that those people will start to decline as people start taking profits. So this is something I wanted to just do a video on. I thought it was pretty cool data, pretty powerful data that was posted. I don't know. I think this was today. Yeah. So I'll put a link in the description for you to read through. And let me know your thoughts in the comments below, everybody. I appreciate you cruising through. Hit the subscribe, hit the like. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.